Good morning, and I would like to pay my respects to the spirits of the land here, where it is cold and windy, but there is some blue sky. And I have to say that I had the shittest sleep last night because we had these intense storm above us last night. And I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older, but I just don't like storms now. They freak me out. So I know last night I spent most of the night wrapped around Mick going, I'm scared. So, welcome to Wednesday, the 17th of September. Oh my God, I don't know when this day is, but we're heading into the last 100 days of the year. So, we're at week 38. So, what's that? 14 weeks left. Good morning, Barbara. Hello, Alicia. Look at that. It works. Yay. Good morning, Paulette. I love that thing that you just posted. That's why I reposted it. Good morning, Susan. How are you? All right. I opened this one up saying I had terrible sleep last night because we had this hectic rain and it just unsettled me so much. Good morning, Louise. Good morning, Janine. How are you? Yeah, nah. See, I don't know whether I caught it off Dougal because every time when we had Doogs and there was some sort of noise or storm, he would just break out. I don't know. I think he just left that part of himself behind with me. All right. So now in the title I wrote there might be a little bit of irritability about this morning. So I did say to maybe, if you are feeling a little bit cranky pants, there is a T square happening between. Now, Mars was opposite Chiron at 1 a.m. this morning, still a little bit sensitive though, and the moon is currently squaring that. It's going to be quick because, the moon moves quite quickly. Good morning, Mel. How are you? So just be aware that that moon square Mars is at 9 a.m. All right, so this is why I wrote go for a walk or do a workout or do your healthy habits, you know, um, uh, channel that Mars energy in a nice way, not a cranky pants way. All right, so then you are starting your day with a clear head um, and, being a little bit more rational. So, why are the changing landscapes that you're seeing unsettling you? All right, so this is a really good question because um, in this eclipse portal um, where we are, sorry, fucking thing, getting notifications. Um, in this eclipse portal where all these things are becoming exposed, I just had my conversation with Annie this morning, and obviously our charts are all vastly different. All of us are going to be experiencing this in vastly different ways. Good morning, Linda. So, focus on what is coming your way. What are the prevalent thoughts? What are the experiences? Where are you getting unsettled in the things that you can see being exposed and needing for you to change? All right. So be excited for the change that's coming because it means that you're growing and evolving. All right, you're addressing things like grown-ups. Seriously, like these are astrology is just the entry point that you can start to understand the things that need to be resolved. Therefore, that's why you go to a therapist. So you can go, well, my Mars is being activated, or blah, blah, blah. Maybe I need to work on my daddy issues, or, maybe I need to work on, maybe you're at a certain, progressed cycle that is reminiscent of, 30 years prior to that. I don't know. It's just because I'm relearning about secondary progressions right now and timing cycles, and it's all just so relevant. All right. Anyway, think of all the forgiveness that is needed. All right. And that works both ways. I brought this up yesterday. The whole, you can put your hand up and say, I have just become aware of something new. I've relearned something. I didn't know that what I thought I was right was wrong or not in alignment with where I'm at now. All right. So it's not about right and wrong because that means that it's going to bring shame in it. And it's more, I was not aware of this. All right, I didn't know that my behavior was doing that, or even just the confidence and courage to have conversations with people to say, hey, when you do this, it really affects me in this way. All right, so again, this is this interesting space where we're trying to express our authentic selves as compassionately as possible whilst not, bit of Marsy being too mean to other people or stepping on toes. So, ultimately we all want growth, and, the birth process is painful. So, this is what eclipses are doing. They're saying these are the things that need to be addressed so that you can more freely go down that path. Again, the North Node is where we are heading towards. It's the ultimate, we're hanging out in that South Node, that comfy, safe, and that place that we've recognized, but that's not where we want to be. We need to go forward. All the things, all the things. All right, so the moon today, it changes sign at 3:20 p.m. All right, so it's going to go from Cancer to Leo. All right, so we're going from that inward feeling place to that outwardly expressive, where we can be seen and heard. There's that leadership quality, that bright, vibrant standing there with our amazing crown of hair. All right, so first of all, we've got that moon square Mars. All right, so again, good morning, Sam. Again, with that, those sensitive, touchy sort of subjects around this morning. All right, and then the next one is 11 a.m. We have the moon sextile Mercury. This is fabulous for those conversations that need to be had. All right, so if you need to have a chat with someone about whatever, then around that 11 o'clock mark is good. Now, also, the moon is going to be trine. All right, so helpful. Hey, Claudine, how are you? The moon is going to be trine Saturn and Neptune between the hours of 1 and 5. So for this one, I feel like, because the moon in Cancer will be moving into Leo. However, Saturn in Pisces is showing us, where are those home Cancer foundations, Saturn in our subconscious, Pisces, that we are reflecting on, that we need to reinforce. All right, again, with the fact that Saturn and Neptune are together, that Neptune wants something to believe in and fight for. Good morning, Karen. And so we're being able to more easily connect with these things that are limiting us, Saturn, in these subconscious and belief orientated places around ourself, Neptune in Aries. All right, so you can just see how, we enter that trine, that period of time, in the where do I belong. All right, there's that Cancer, and then we then move into the Leo, so it's all about us, our ego, our pride, and then it moves into that more Neptunian, Neptune in Aries retrograde. We are allowed to adjust our beliefs in ourselves by reinforcing those foundational understandings. All right, so and then at 6 p.m. we have the moon opposing Pluto. So I like that, because we are, there's that sort of 4 hour transition from the Cancer through to the Leo. It's all about, it's all about just seeing where the story begins. Is it relevant? The exposure of the eclipse. I mean, ultimately that 29-degree Virgo is, what is the best thing for you? All right. Where are these habits and understandings and criticisms, where do they come from? It's this full dark moon. We have to go into those darker spaces, that new moon experience, that birthing process. All right, so ultimately we are, and then after 11, the moon starts to sextile Uranus, which is exact at 6, which is the same time that Pluto opposition. All right, so by allowing those underworld truths, the subconscious stuff to come up, that sextile to Uranus is exciting our mental processes. All right, and like, there's a lot of things. So even the fact that the moon starts sextiling, or the moon sextiles Mercury, thoughts and communications, and then at the same time it starts its sextile to Uranus. All right, so we're allowing those bigger thoughts and awarenesses to come through, And so it's just, how does that feel for you guys? Like, I don't know, it feels like a lot, but it feels like it's a good flow into just way more awareness and allowing you to see why there is resistance to the change that is inevitable. All right. So that is a lot. All right. So yeah, I think that's enough. Let's draw a card. I'm going to go back to these new ones that I've got because they're so pretty. So pretty. All right. This one. This one. Oh, death. Oh, wow. Have not had this one for a while. Oh, thank you, Louise. And look at that, the ultimate transformation. All right, allowing yourself to see these old things for what they are. Old things that everything needs to pass. It is just a cycle. There is no golden ticket out. We're all going to pass. All right, so that also means, yeah, absolutely. This Scorpio loves death, but because of the beautiful transition that it is. Actually looking at this picture, there are a pair of adults and a child all offering up gifts to death, and there's this beautiful red sunset in the background, and you know what, it is just a cycle. So going into these thoughts today, just process them. That maybe they're tired as well. Maybe they're showing themselves to you because they're like, I've had enough. That was a pig. I'm sorry, that scared the shit out of me. Spotty is the alpha pig, and she is a bitch. She just keeps biting my pig Snuffy. So, anyway, there we go. That jolted me into reality. Thank you, Deb. It is. It is. It's, you know what? Guys, we are in such a powerful time, and all it takes is the bravery to be able to acknowledge the things that are in your life that are no longer relevant for you. All right. And it does take courage. It does take support. And this Cancer moon, where do I belong? Like, your inner child is just like, oh my God, all these things that hurt me. And they're coming up now. So, yes, yes, we have two pigs. They came to our house, Karen. We did not choose to have pigs. They chose us. So they are gigantic pigs, and they are lovely, but they are so fucking destructive. So, all right, ladies, I am on a mission today. I am like full focus today. So, I am around, but if anybody needs a chat, wait till tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Mwah. See ya.